Just now, we talked about this arm retraction. The wrong way is lifting the upper arm. Forehand drive. Why do I want you to fully complete it? It's because I hope everyone can learn arm retraction. First, look, this is the framework. Go slower. Learn to retract your arm. Then gradually, look, add some quality. Then you'll generate power. Yesterday I found out one very important point. Isn't it true that for many amateur players, their forehand has no arm retraction acceleration? So they can't produce power and can't make that sound. Why can others penetrate the blade, but you can't? I analyzed it. It's because their arm retraction arc has problems. For example, forehand drive preparation. After opening up, we start from the initial point. One to 10. See, the elbow and upper arm are fixed. Then fully retract the arm. But amateur players often make mistakes in this retraction. Here is an example. Right? That's a trajectory problem. It affects the arm retraction. The explosive force that should be generated here loses its speed. The framework can't hold. It's unstable. Most of what I see is first going upward. Upward is very common, or pushing forward, or going left. Often the common situation is, if you want to hit hard in the forehand drive, you must hold this framework steady. Then when I retract with power, watch. But if when you retract, you do it like this, it affects power and loses speed. It means the framework of arm retraction is unstable. Too roundabout. The retraction trajectory has issues. Listen to this sound. Look carefully at my movement. It's the same for penhold grip. It penetrates the blade strongly. This support is especially solid. I feel only with joint support. Can you get that whipping effect, right? If it wobbles, then you lose that acceleration. So when generating power, the joints must hold firm. The arm muscles should create the acceleration effect. If the elbow moves with the arm or the shoulder moves with the arm, then the joints fail to stabilize, and the muscles can't accelerate. Let's summarize. If the shoulder wobbles, it just becomes brushing. So the shoulder must stay still. The shoulder power is locked after hitting. Then comes the elbow. After pushes forward. Then the elbow stops. Then contract the forearm to generate acceleration. Everyone, carefully study my movement. This joint here must be held firm. Don't let it wobble. Otherwise it easily becomes uniform speed, and the power won't concentrate. If the elbow moves randomly, the arm retraction trajectory changes and may go in other directions. This is all caused by the joint not being fixed. You need to lock it here, then accelerate the arm retraction so that the power concentrates. The forearm sprint is what makes it meaningful. Try exerting force upward with your elbow. See if you can generate. It feels like there's no point of explosion. Even if I accelerate more, it doesn't feel this. That crisp snap. Now try locking the joint. It feels very stable. See if the joint moves a little. The sound changes immediately. You actually use more force than keeping it fixed. But the power delivered to the ball is very little. When the joint wobbles or moves along, the motion becomes loose and scattered. The power disperses. Watch closely. Look, if the joint moves, even if you exert more force, it won't act on the ball. When you loop as well, I tested this yesterday. If you want to loop with real impact, hold them firm, especially your shoulder, with a locked elbow. Then loop normally. Try it, it's very explosive. Yes, your power increases a lot. The motion becomes compact. The wrist area gets acceleration. But if you don't stabilize shoulder and elbow, feel it. It disperses. The power spreads. Now lock it tight. The motion becomes smaller and faster. Lock the joint position, shoulder, and elbow in the forehand system. Since you need to use the wrist for looping, the wrist cannot be locked. I feel that your hip thrust is the same principle as the elbow. From here to here, you lock it immediately and break instantly. It's the same principle as the hand. If you lock it here, the forearm can unleash explosive power. I lock the elbow here. Then accelerate with the forearm. You must release the forearm. Yes, let the forearm whip. You overuse the forearm. This is it. You can't let the elbow move together with the forearm. The elbow must stay still, then the forearm retracts. Try moving them together. That won't work. The power gets dispersed, and you're also exerting extra force. But once you lock it, the speed immediately changes. Try locking your shoulder. Feel it, both the shoulder and the elbow locked. Doesn't it feel more concentrated? The power release becomes smoother. The transmission is better. That's the complete trajectory. The key is when the elbow and shoulder need to stop, they stop. If they wobble like this, it affects your forearm retraction. Then the power just disperses. Upward, to the left, or pushing forward, because they didn't stop here before retracting. Try hit like this. This is the kind of sound people usually make when hitting. Now fix the elbow again. Then retract with the forearm. Listen. Two different sounds, right? Now I'll analyze it. See, you gave me one backhand, one forehand. Why did it go out of bounds? Because probably around the elbow joint. The elbow wasn't held stable, and when people get nervous, their whole motion gets larger, looser, slower, and stiffer. Once you hold it steady, it becomes very stable, and the speed is faster. The swing goes through quicker. If the elbow joint wobbles, it makes your forearm's arc and trajectory deviate, causing mistakes. So about the elbow and shoulder. Look, during the backswing, they're relaxed, but when you strike forward, there's a forward motion. You can't start retracting from beginning. Your body must drive forward a bit. At that moment, the shoulder and elbow lock in place. That forearm snap right there. Here's how I teach you to test this motion. Stand upright. Fix your elbow and shoulder, then accelerate your forearm retraction like this. That's how you can generate power.